Hello, namaste and welcome. And we're going to start the second half of the Reiki Way with the third tool. So this tool is like a diamond. It has lots of facets which it's hoping you will come to love them. And it's really by loving the tool, it comes to you to use it rather than a lot of intellectual keeping of knowledge about the tool. So we just start with explaining just a little bit and then add more facets as we go along. So you can just relax and just listen and understand, but you don't need to remember so much. So this tool is called Honsha Seishonen, and I'll show you it written out here. Okay, this is why I say don't try to remember, because this is more, and it's going to be back to front, but it is Hon, Hon, Sha or Sho, Sha, Ze, Zedi, Honsha Ze Sho, Sho, Nen, Nen. So Honsha Ze Shonen. So Honsha first. Hon means the origin or root, and Sha is a person or persona, identity. So it means the origin of the identity. Yes, and this origin, this word is Hon, and that is the root of our words like honest and honor, honorable. And this was an important concept in Japan, but also it has this meaning really of integrity, and so it's like integral to the identity is Ze, and Ze on its own is Zen. So Zen is your pure consciousness. So the original root or underlying the identity is pure consciousness. And this can be understood like integral to your identity is pure consciousness. And pure consciousness is the energy of the life force as well as consciousness, because the life force is actually self-aware, it's pure consciousness. So you can see this in nature, that in every tree and rock, everything, its underlying essence is the life force. Its real original essence is life force, not tree or rock. And so this Honsha is saying the essence, the underlying of every identity, every person is the life force or the pure consciousness itself. So if you like, you could look back to the video that goes with, I think it's Reiki 1, but it's the one with the picture of the flowers, and it's called You Are Energy, and it's explaining that everything is energy, and this is agreed by the scientists now as well. And most importantly, at the end, it uses the example of the flowers. Before the mind interprets the energy as flowers, it's just this energy. And when the mind puts the interpretation of flowers on that energy, then it thinks, right, flowers, put to one side, it's labeled it, and it loses interest, and it doesn't really see the energy. So this is asking us to look at ourselves, the body and mind, our whole identity in the same way. Before it's labeled with your name and you're this sort of person with this sort of life and these sorts of relationships, before all this mind labeling goes on, you are this life force energy, which is Zen, which is pure consciousness. So you see, there's very deep meaning to this. So Hon Sha is saying, you are this Zen, and it is the explanation, the understanding. And then Shonen is, Sho means natural, and Nen means meditation. So this is saying that in natural meditation, you come to the experience of Zen, your true nature. So natural meaning without technique, like not staring at candle flames or counting your breath or any technique like this, just withdrawing your attention inside. Then you can see this is the Choku Rei, but we leave all these things for later. But just drawing your attention in and experiencing for yourself what is here for yourself. Nobody else telling you. It's not anything outside of you. You are this. So self-experience itself leads you to pure consciousness. So Hon Sha Ze Shonen cannot be translated by a sentence because it's an understanding that Hon Sha is the understanding of Zen, pure consciousness, and Shonen is the experience of Zen, pure consciousness. So it's like a build-up. So in this Reiki way, Hon Sha Ze Shonen is called an elevator symbol because it's raising your consciousness from the mixed consciousness in the identity to the pure consciousness that is the life force and the absolute beingness before the mind comes in. And both the Hon Sha understanding that this is your root, your underlying essence, and the Shonen experience of having the time to experience this, so you become this. It's not an understanding in the mind, but it's what you are, and you feel it and experience it as what you are, and you become this pure consciousness. You are Zen. It's not something other than you. And the energy of this tool, Hon Sha Ze Shonen, is the experience, the energy of this understanding. although there's so much more that could be said, this is enough. This is enough for this first introduction. And one last thing to say is this experience of truth and recognition of truth have to come together in Honsha Seishonen for the experience of enlightenment, shall we say, for this experience of being this truth. And this is why in presenting the Reiki Way on YouTube here, there's been put 2 videos coming out together, with the idea of one being the understanding, but most important, no, equally important, but perhaps more lacking in our society, where we have so much food for the mind and not enough time to sit and gain the experience, because it takes time for that. So more important for our society maybe is the experience. So the companion video coming with this one will be, you could say, a Honsha Shonen treatment, the experience of this. So please don't feel you have to remember all of that information, but just enjoy. Namaste.